Okay, so I am super excited about tonight, and my goal is to keep this around 30 minutes, but I do have a talking problem. So I am going to do my best to give you all the information I can, but to keep it short. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen with you because I do have a little presentation for you guys tonight, just because maybe if you're a visual learner, you would like this. So essentially tonight, okay, and then I'm going to try to also watch letting people in. So welcome to our team Purpose Over Perfection. That is our team. If you don't know who I am, maybe you were invited by another coach. My name is Brianna Mueller, and I live in central South Dakota in a very small town of 400 people. My husband's job brought me out here. We both work in agriculture. So I am a high school, 6th through 12th grade agricultural education teacher and FFA advisor. And my husband works in the animal feed industry and manages a feed mill. So we live out here. A little backstory about how I got into coaching was that I was student teaching and I was very broke. I was very depressed my entire life. It started in about 7th grade. I struggled with anxiety and depression and had to get some treatment and some help. And so my mental health has always been a battle, something that I always am striving to work on. And when we moved out here, we moved far from any civilization and any human being I know. So that really took a toll on me. And I pretty much spent my evenings binge watching Netflix, particularly America's Got Talent. For some reason, I found that fascinating. And then I also ate anything and everything I wanted because in my mind, so I was like, I love myself. I was all about the self-love movement. And to me, what self-love meant was I'm going to let myself do whatever I want, eat whatever I want, and stuff like that, which actually in turn made me have a really low self-esteem and just probably hit my lowest point. It was literally, I can remember it. It was in March. Obviously, it's still dark out really early. And I'm on my 4th episode of America's Got Talent. And I'm literally crying on the couch because I'm like, adulthood sucks. I have nothing to look forward to. Like, I hate teaching. I just wasted the last 4 years of my life going to school for something that I don't want to do. And I was just having a mental breakdown. My husband worked literally 80 hours a week. I was by myself in this new house where I knew no one. And we were just married. So this was supposed to be the best time of my life. And it was the worst. And I finally got to the breaking point where I needed something for myself. That's when I saw someone on Instagram. She was doing Beachbody workouts and she wasn't even inviting, right? Like she was just posting her workouts. And I did Beachbody before actually in college and I quit. And I didn't have a coach that really checked in on me. So I didn't really stick with it. So then I decided to start the workouts and 7 days in, I was like, these are the best thing. These home workouts I can do from my basement. I bought weights at Walmart. I'm like, I'm all in. 7 days in, I decided to sign up as a coach and it was the best decision. I started inviting my friends, my family, started reaching out to other people that were kind of watching what I was doing and talking to me about it and started to kind of build my team and build my accountability group. And so that's kind of what led me here today. And our team has just continued to grow and evolve. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what it is tonight and give you some details. And our team name is Purpose Over Perfection. I am an Enneagram 2. If you're familiar with those are the people pleasers, the people who want everything to be perfect. And so it's kind of a reminder every day for us to remember our purpose. And even though it might not be perfect, we want to be purposeful in what we're doing and fulfill God's purpose that he has for us. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So if you can't tell, I am super excited that you're here because this is hands down my biggest passion to share the coaching opportunity with you because it has single-handedly changed my entire life. So I'd love it if in the chat right now, you would drop maybe where you're from, what you do, what do you do for a job or if you're in school or what, and then who was the coach that invited you here. So feel free, don't be shy, drop that in the chat. And get to kind of see who else is in this call. Maybe people are by where you are and stuff like that. So I would love if you would drop that in the chat and we can talk about it. Feel free to use the chat too throughout, if there's something you really like or you have a question. I'm going to ask Angie, wherever she went, to monitor questions. I'm not going to pull the chat up because if I pull the chat up, I'll be gone. Like I'll be so distracted and I'll talk for 2 hours. So I'm going to ask her to kind of monitor that. But I wanted to start with the what if, because the what if has kind of been my biggest question of 2022. And so for this next 30 minutes, I really just want you to block out all the negativity. I want you to block out all the self-doubt. I want you to block out all of the things that are telling you like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. This is kind of crazy. I feel these butterflies because like, this is scary. I'm doing something different. And I want you to spend these next 30 minutes thinking about like, what if it worked? Like, what if you were able to make this work? You were able to become successful and you were able to achieve your dreams. So another thing I kind of want you to just drop in the chat is a lot of you maybe have a little bit of information about coaching, but if this worked, you're going to sign up tonight and it works and you're a successful coach, what would February look like for you? Like, what are some things you would want to work on in February? Is it your confidence? Is it, making a little extra income to support your family? Is it, getting to work towards going on a trip? What are some things maybe in February that you would want to work on moving forward with this business and this opportunity? So I want you just to keep an open mind as we talk tonight, because I think a lot of us come to the table with maybe some ideas of what we think it might be, and we might be a little nervous, and that's okay. But I just want you to think about like, what if it worked, and keep an open mind as we go through this. So I wanted to kind of start a little bit about like, what does a coach do, right? So you see, you're probably here because a coach on this call invited you and you've seen what they're doing on their stories, on their social media. But essentially what coaching is it is working on becoming your best self. So our number one priority is working on our personal development and our own best transformation, right? If you knew me back in March of 2019, it was after I got married, and I will never forget, before I got married, my alterations, I had to get my wedding dress actually taken out because I gained weight, so much weight that my wedding dress I picked out no longer fit. It was the most stressful thing of my entire life. And I was the heaviest I ever was. And I don't think that weight is the most important determination, but I just felt bad, right? I ate whatever, I drank whatever. I drank so much pop. I like literally was that teacher who had the stash of candy in her desk and just like chowed it down all day long. Eating was really self-soothing for me. So making this switch as a coach is I knew that I had to become my best challenger. I had to really go all in on the programs and work on me. And I think this is one of the only opportunities that they tell you time and time again that you need to make sure you're focusing on your personal growth, your personal development, and then the rest will come along the way. So the personal development and the change and the growth I've really seen from coaching hasn't only impacted my health and fitness, but it's really helped me in my marriage. It's helped me be a better teacher. And it's just really helped me become a better person. Then some other things we do as a coach is shining our light for others, right? So we really want to, and maybe there's some people who are like drop in the chat if social media kind of freaks you out. Like you're like, oh, I don't know if I can post and like do stories and I don't really know how all that works. Like feel free to drop that in the chat, because I think you guys will be surprised how many people are where you're at, and it's totally okay. But we show up. And, you might see it as workout stories. You might see it as posting on our social media. But essentially, we're here to show people an opportunity to change their lives. And I'm not just talking about coaching. I am talking about, the programs, the products, all that. And we are showing people that they can do this too. One of the best quotes I've heard from, my NLC conference in Las Vegas last weekend was that Beachbody really is not a business transaction, but it is a business of transformation. And that's what we're looking at. And I hope that when you are sitting here tonight and after you sign up, that your life looks completely different a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I know the Brianna I was in March of 2019 is not who I am today. But it's crazy to think even the Brianna I am today is not going to be the Brianna I am in 5 years, because we really just keep growing and shining. And there are people who are in a really dark spot and they really need this. So we show up on our social media, we connect with our friends and family, we invite them along on the journey, and we just share about what we're doing, which is really easy for a lot of us. If we're passionate about what we're doing, if we like the programs, right? It's no different than I'm drinking a bubbler. If you know me, I'm obsessed with bubbler, and people know that that is like a quality of me. I am associated with bubbler. Okay, so how is it any different that I love bubbler and I quite literally probably have gotten over 100 people hooked on bubbler? Like, I kid you not, people message me and are like, I tried bubbler because of you, and they buy it all the time. So how is that any different? Like, I'm simply just sharing something I really enjoy and I use every day to show people an opportunity. And again, then we help others do the same. So we help people get results. Maybe you are signed up already, maybe you're not, but we run our accountability groups to help women stay on track. A lot of people come to Beachbody because they want that accountability. They want that atmosphere. They want the group mentality of like, you know, everyone's showing up. I got to show up. And it's really the support group. And so that is one of my favorite things. I cannot tell you the feeling you get when someone messages you telling you that they changed you changed their life. And so if you're someone who really likes to help others, I know we have nurses on here, we have teachers on here, and like that in our core is like we got into that profession because we want to help people live a better life and be healthy and have a fulfilling life. And so that's really what it's about. It isn't about like knowing everything about health and fitness. It's not being a certified, you know, personal trainer. It's not being a dietitian. We are simply taking the opportunities that Beachbody has, and we are connecting them with people, like to people. And then Beachbody is rewarding us for doing so. So now some of you guys are probably wondering, like, how do we earn as a coach? Because, right, a lot of us coach. Well, all of us coach because we want to help people, but I'm not going to lie. Some of you are probably here because you want to know, how do you create some more financial freedom in your life? How do you earn, you know, the trips? If you follow me on social media, I was in Vegas last weekend on a paid trip with Beachbody. Angie and I were headed to Punta Cana in March because of Beachbody. That's a paid trip. And so honestly, I posted a poll on my Instagram the other day, and right, nobody wants to say it out loud. But a big thing is that, right, as Americans, like we are so in debt. We are so like living paycheck to paycheck, and we just want that security. And maybe you're not living paycheck to paycheck, but you just want that extra flexibility. You want to be able to do what you want. And this has really opened doors for my family and changed what we've been able to do. So I want to talk a little bit about like, how do you actually earn in the Beachbody business? So first, I'd like you to take a look at the bottom. It is our income disclaimer, because I never want anyone to think I'm trying to trick them into a get rich scheme, because Beachbody is not a get rich quick scheme. It definitely takes hard work. It takes intentional action. So Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coach opportunity. Each coach's income depends on his or her own efforts, diligence, and skill. So I just wanted to bring that out there because, right, a lot of people think of network marketing as like, or some people advertise it as like, sign up as a coach and tomorrow you'll have $500 in your bank account. Like, not how it works. But how you earn money, this is a true income potential, right? It has brought in a good amount of income into my household and helped me to hopefully here. My long-term goal is to transition from coaching into, let me flip-flop that, from a teacher and turning into a full-time coach. Because for me, I am so sorry too, if you can hear my dog in the background, he is a little firecracker. But with teaching, I love it. I do. I really enjoy it. But the hardest part for me is that no matter how hard I work, and maybe some of you guys are in careers that are similar, no matter how hard I work as a teacher, I could be there the first person in the morning. I could be the last person to leave, because that's how it was my first year. And I still will make less, and I will still never be able to reach the income potential I should for how hard I work, right? And that's something that's really difficult for me, because I believe that if I am working very, very hard and I am trying to be the best person I can be and the best teacher I can be, and I'm spending hours in my career, that I should be compensated properly for that. But in teaching and education, like, there is no opportunity to really grow that much. And so that is where Beachbody has opened doors for me. I didn't, when I first signed up, understand the potential until I went to Summit, which is our national conference. I never understood till I was at NLC, and people really talked about how this could change everything for them. So kind of how it works is we have these things called total solution packs. So maybe if you are a current challenger, you got hooked up with one of these when you started, or maybe you're someone on here who hasn't signed up yet. And so my hope for you is, even if you walk away tonight, not as a coach, is that you'd at least commit to go all in on your health and fitness journey. So the gist of it is that we hook people up with these total solution packs, which are our workouts and then a product. So either Shakeology, which is our nutritional shake, or Energize and Recover, our pre and post workout. And then we get rewarded for that, right? Beachbody doesn't have salespeople on the ground. We are their people. Beachbody can't. Something very unique about Beachbody is that we check in and we keep accountable, and you have a personal coach, right? So Beachbody can't contact all those people, right? That's where we get rewarded for our work there. So I wanted to show you a little bit of how it works. You can get income right away as a coach. And so I think of my boutique I started, right? I had to put thousands of dollars of inventory in. If you open a brick and mortar business, you're probably in debt for a few years before it ever pays off. But in Beachbody, you can, if you put the work in, you can become you can make money your first month, right? Because you'll put in about $150 for your total solution pack, and you can earn that back by helping 3 people get started, right? Maybe a mom, friend, roommate, aunt, sister, whoever. And then Beachbody gives you a cut of that. And then say you have those 3 people you helped in month 1, say they stay on their auto shipment because they are loving their Shakeology. They feel so much better. And so then you sign up 3 new people in month 2, and you get that Shakeology, and you can see how the income can really start to snowball. So this is just kind of an example of the income potential, because, helping people is number 1, but none of us on here are going to sit and lie and say, a few extra bucks wouldn't be bad, right? So my goal for every new coach is that in their first month, they are able to get their investment back, and they are able to pay for their next month's product, because it is I love it. I would not use Shakeology if I did not genuinely love it, and I'm addicted to it. And so, but sometimes the paycheck, when I was first a teacher or a student teacher, I could not afford it. And my husband was like, yeah, you're not buying that shake unless you can pay for it yourself. So that's kind of what lit the fire. I want to talk a little bit about the yes, but what? Because I know that there are some things in the back of your brain, right? And I hope you're pushing out that negativity still. And when you sign up, right, you're still going to have this on the fence, I don't know about some of these things. And the number one thing I hear all the time is, I don't want to be salesy. And all of us, amen. If you don't want to be salesy, don't be salesy. We can totally do this in a way, right? We are not about the whole go through every human on your Facebook page and ask them if they want to buy your product, because that's not we've all gotten messages that are hey, so-and-so, I know I don't know you, but I'm starting this new thing. And I think my dog is going psycho. I'm sorry. And so we get this new, you get this message. Sorry, I have to shut the door because they're driving me nuts and I can't focus. Sorry about that. And so we don't want to be salesy, and there's ways we can do this, and we teach you not to, right? We are all about building a relationship with someone before we ever even talk to them about the opportunity, right? But really, we have something that I truly believe that every single human being needs, right? Every single person needs to feel healthy, needs to feel like they have a community, and needs to feel amazing. The other objection is that you're not at your fitness goal yet, or maybe you're new to Beachbody, and that's totally okay. Like I said, I signed up on day 7 of my program. And the thing is people really want to go with you in the journey. They don't want to just see the end result. They want, right? We all as humans, we love, that's why TLC makes these shows going in people's homes and freaking out. And we just love it and we engulf it. Okay. I need to go yell at my dogs. 1 second. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Of course, the one night Shane is not home and they have to flip out. But this is real life. See, you don't have to be perfect. And, if your baby's crying in the background or whatever, it's all good. I don't have a lot of time. I totally get this. I am a busy human being. I like to block every minute from the second I wake up to the minute I go to bed. And not everyone's like that, but I found that I'm more intentional with my time now because I want to get my business activities in, but I also want to spend time with my family. So I've actually gotten better about being off my phone. I've gotten better about taking time for myself because I value the time that I am working my business. So, right, I don't scroll as much. I don't just like mindlessly be on my phone. Another thing is there's probably something in the back of your head telling you, who am I to motivate others? Because that's what I thought. Like, who am I to share this stuff? Like, I have nothing special about me, but that's the great thing, right? We are all normal human beings. We are all people who can be successful in this journey. And so I don't want you to let that person of like, well, nothing special about me. Like, but people want to see what you're doing. People, right? You can share, and people need you, and people need Maya. People need Jasmine, right? Like, they need you as their coach, because maybe my like crazy personality is just a little too much for them, right? So there are people out there that are going to click with you. And so I don't want you to think the market's too saturated. I don't want you to think that, everyone's already got a Beachbody coach, because they don't. And the good news is, right, new humans are popping up all the time. And so more people are getting exposed to this. And so you do have a story to share. And so don't get caught up in that. It is too expensive is another thing. And it comes down to priorities. I'm going to be honest. I was a broke student teacher when I signed up. I literally was terrified to tell my husband that I signed up, because he was bringing in all the money in our relationship at the time. And it just came down to I was spending money, buying clothes on Amazon, right? Like, people will talk on social media about how they bought this brand new purse that was like $400, or they just went on this trip somewhere and spent oodles of money, or right, like they went to the bar and spent, I know people who go to the bar and easily spend $400 in a month. And so it's all about priorities. And I'm not trying to downplay at all, like, if money is actually tight and you are actually living paycheck to paycheck. But then I'd ask, okay, so what are some things, how can we work together to rearrange things so that you can start this business, so you can bring in extra income, so you aren't worried about paycheck to paycheck. You aren't worried about going to the grocery store and not being able to buy the things you want. I saw it as a trade-off in my grocery bill. I got very intentional about the groceries I was purchasing and used that extra money from my grocery bill to pay for my Shakeology. I don't have spouse support. Maybe I'm just going to talk about Maya, because Maya and I talked on the phone recently, and she's like, my fiance thinks I'm going into, she didn't say a cult, but I'm like, going into a pyramid scheme. Oh my God. And
it's okay. That's literally what he said. So it's okay. It's okay.
And it's so common. My husband thought it was so funny when he's like, what are you doing? And right, he'd make fun of my workouts. Like, he still makes jokes about it. I know in the bottom of his heart, he supports me, but I would use that as motivation to work even harder, because to be honest, now I'm providing opportunities for our family. I will never forget, I have a business bank account for Beachbody, and to kind of keep our stuff separate and for taxes and whatever. And I will never forget the day that my Beachbody checking account was more than our regular checking account. And Shane finally had to admit that this was a real thing. He just always thought it was just something fun and kind of right, a side hustle, no big deal. And then he was like, oh crap, this is a real business. This is actually something you're doing. And so I totally understand where you're at. And I just encourage you to talk about your vision and your goals. Talk about the things it can do for your family. Shane and I talk about all the time, this is our vehicle to get us so that I can be a stay-at-home mom, because working with kids all day, I do not want my children to act the way most children act in today's society. And so we know I want to be home raising my kids. I don't want someone else to raise them. Next is, I'm not good at social media. I've been having this conversation a ton, and I get it. I was not someone who posted on social media. The only time I posted on social media is when I had a sorority event and I was all dressed up, and I'm have to document this one time I'm dressed up in college. And I never posted on stories, never talked, never would have posted a workout video. Oh my God. But it becomes a learned thing, and you just kind of start with baby steps, one step at a time, and then you eventually grow and you figure it out. And even I think of now, TikTok is one of my favorite platforms ever. I am obsessed with it. But when I started as a coach, TikTok didn't even exist. Maybe it existed, but it hadn't like hit yet. Maybe Vine was still a thing. I don't know. But you just kind of like pick up and you learn these things, and there's so much training out there. Anyone on this team will tell you, like, if you wanted to drown yourself in training, you could. I don't suggest it, but you can learn anything, and you can Google anything. Guys, I Google everything. Even like when I'm teaching, I'm like, kids ask me a question and I'm like, I don't know. I think that you should Google it and you should tell the class the answer. And that's my key to, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then lastly, is it a pyramid scheme? Guys, there is two differences between a pyramid scheme and a network marketing company, or you might hear it as an MLM, a multi-level marketing company. I just wanted to clear this up because this is a valid question that almost every person, before they sign up as a Beachbody coach, this crosses their mind. And number one, I want you to know pyramid schemes are illegal, and Beachbody is a very large company. We actually serve on a lot of direct sales boards because they want our advice and they want to know how we run our company. So don't worry, we are a very legit, very legal business. And second, how a pyramid scheme works is one person at the top pretty much collects dues from everyone under them. And then only that person at the top is really achieving greatness. Where what's really cool in the Beachbody business is it is all about how fast you want to run and what you want to do with it. So really, anyone can be super successful at this. So like if Maya signs up as my coach tonight, she could go on and like honestly surpass me in income, in rank, in everything next year, or like really whenever she wanted to. And so you don't have to, you're not stuck under one person. It's really like a beneficial scheme. It's just rewarding, right? Like how you get rewarded for having coaches under you is like, I mentor you, so then Beachbody rewards me for mentoring that person is kind of how that works. And so I just wanted to, these are all fears people have that are very valid. I really believe feelings are valid, so don't be ashamed by them. But what if instead of fear, like the fear of failure and the unknown, we feared regret? Because there are so many things I think that we could regret in life. And so like, what's the worst thing that comes out of this? Like you sign up and 6 months later, you're like, I don't really know if this is for me. Like I'm going to take a step back, but at least you can say you tried it, because what if like literally it becomes like the best thing you've ever done, but you won't know that until you try. So why join this team now? Because yeah, your team really matters, because there are teams out there that don't do much or have different values. And so a few things is that the home fitness is booming right now with COVID and things closing down and stuff like that. Is people really want at-home fitness that they can do without driving somewhere. And if you live in an area like us, like my closest gym is 25 minutes. So there's no way I'm going to a gym. I needed something like this. There's also a huge growth plan ahead. Beachbody has evolved so much and is continuing to evolve. There's a new program launching March 15th. And I was talking with some of the top leaders at NLC, and they said this will be a complete game changer. Like this will blow it out of the water. And then there's another program coming out in May and then another in July. And so it's so fun because it's things we get excited about. It's things we can invite new people to, and it's just fantastic. You should also, you on this team get the momentum and strong leaders. Is this team has a very strong momentum right now of moving forward and people who know what they're doing in the business. So I just attended New Leader Conference in Las Vegas, which was for 1-star leaders. And so I can really walk you through like, what is everything I did to get to the next level? You get to structure your own success. So maybe you sign on and maybe like your goal is just to pay for your product. That's fine. Maybe your goal is just to find a community and to be, we call them like a country club coach, right? Like you just love the atmosphere, you love the support, you love going to the events, and you just love being in this space. And that's okay too. But maybe you want to be someone like, I really want to quit my full-time job. Like I want to be my own boss and provide that income for my family. And so that's how my success is structured. Then we have community of friends. This is hands down the best community I've ever met, because I've learned in the adult world, not many people are chasing goals. Not many people are actually doing personal development and trying to improve their lives. It's kind of the same cyclical cycle. I don't know if you can really use those two words together because cyclical means cycle, whatever. But like of just, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you clean the house, you eat dinner, and you go to bed and you do it all over again. And I sure as hell do not want to live my life like that. Like I want to live my life. I don't want to just be in that cycle of like another year passes and you're like, oh crap, okay, where did that year go? Like, time to do something this year. And then it's just amazing to use your talents to help others. And you might be sitting there thinking, Brianna, I don't have any talents. Like, I am a plain Jane human being. But your story is what your talent is. You have talents that you don't even know about. Your loving for others, your compassion for others, your ability to relate to others, or maybe your empathy or whatever it is. But you all have a very specific talent that is going to help you help others. And I just kind of wanted to kind of end on this, is that if you don't sacrifice now for what you want will become the sacrifice. So one thing, to be honest, is to be a successful coach is you do have to structure time. You do have to put in effort. You do have to make sacrifices, right? But I sat down with my husband and I said, I need 1 hour every night to work on my business because I want to be able to raise our kids. I want to be able to go on vacation. I want to be able to pay off our debt, right? Like, and we talked about these goals and these visions, and I included him on it. And so he understands, like, this is a team effort. So I'm just going to ask my coaches who are on this call, if you could take a second and drop in the chat, what is your favorite part about coaching? That would be super helpful because I'd like to get some different opinions. But obviously we don't have time to like go around to everyone because I've already talked for like forever. But if my coaches, there are a bunch of you on, if you could just drop in the chat, what are your favorite parts of coaching? That would be amazing. I'm going to look back on the chat. If you have any questions, now would be a really great time to add those there. And so now I am just looking at all these fun things of people. Oh, neonatal ICU. I love babies. I love this. So many people. I'm just like catching up on the chat real quick because I want to see that. Yes, awesome. Okay, sweet. The community, yeah, community is hands down like the favorite part. I love it so much. Positive changes. Amen. Okay, so this is what I am going to leave you with, but like really, like why not you? Like, why are you holding back from this opportunity? This is hands down a life-changing opportunity. I never pictured myself in this space. I actually used to make fun of Beachbody coaches because I'm like, good for you, sharing your fun workouts. Like, good for you getting up at 5 a.m. Because I was not a morning person. I like slept till 15 minutes before I had to leave my house. And I really, reflecting now, realized I wish I would have stuck with it when I was in college and signed up to be a coach in college, because I could only imagine where I'd be now if I would have started 2 years ago. So I don't want you to look back in a year from now and be like, man, I wish I would have signed up that night. So if you're ready to sign up, I would like you to stay on this call and we're going to get you hooked up. So if you are like, yes, I think I need to do this, I need to take the deep dive. And it's okay if you have those butterflies in your stomach, because it means like, it's interesting. As I prepared for this call, my planner, the quote was, it's okay if you're scared. It means you're about to do something really great. And I'd like you to message whoever invited you to this call, and then they'll get you decided on what the best startup plan for you is, because that looks differently for everyone depending on where they are. So I hope this was a helpful call. If you have any questions right now, now is a really good time to drop them. You can drop them in the chat. You can ask them out loud, whatever works best for you. I'm going to figure out how to, there we go, stop sharing my screen. Are there any questions or anything that anyone has?
Okay, I just have a quick question. So when we talked on the phone, you said it was probably starting at like $16, $17 a month. So what was that compared to the 150 package? Like, I'm just curious what the difference is there.
Yeah, sorry. So if you don't have Beachbody currently, the best way to get started is with that total solutions pack. And that gets you a year of workouts and products. Once you're signed up with that, then as a coach, you have a $16 per month thing. If I think I have some North Dakota folks on here, and you actually, that fee is waived. So I don't know what North Dakota's laws are or why they don't have to pay that. I don't know, but they're doing something up there. So that is to get you started like with Beachbody. So that'd be either as a challenger or as a coach. That $160 gets you that total solutions pack. And then from there on out is the $16 coach fee.
Got it. So it's kind of like 150, kind of the starter pack, and then 16 after that.
Yes. So the 150 is like for anyone like challenger or coach wanting to get started with Beachbody. Gets you access to everything. Any other questions? I don't see any in the chat.
If we have Beachbody already, it's nothing.
Yeah. So like, well, kind of how it works is so it's different in every case, right? Like Emily, we already have you signed up as a coach, so you get the discount. And so like for you, you're already ready to rock. Like you can just hit the ground running. If you are currently signed up as a challenger or like just a customer, then it's $40 to get started. Unless you purchase a package, it's waived with a package, or if you bought a package in the last 30 days, then they also reimburse that fee. So kind of confusing. If you're a brand new person coming in, that fee, that $40 gets waived with a challenge pack, or sorry, it's now a total solution pack. Or if you signed up in the past 30 days, then you also get that fee waived, reimbursed. Confusing. Good questions. Any other questions? Okay, so if do you have to pay $16 per month? My dog is going crazy again. Yes. So yes, to be a coach, I got the question, to be a coach, you pay $16 a month, and you do. So what that $16 a month covers is, right, like all the people, all the corporate people who support us in our business, right? So there's monthly weekly trainings, right? There's coach development people who work with you. There are shipping and handling, right? There's the warehouse workers who ship all our products, because I don't touch anything, right? Like if Maya were to buy a total solution pack tonight, I don't touch that, right? It ships directly. It is customer service. It is all the like people that we don't have to be, right? Like I compare it to my boutique. If someone has an issue, right, they contact me, and then I have to go through that. I ship everything. I do all that. Whereas like the $16 a month covers all the behind the scenes people, our coach office, our software, all that kind of stuff. And it is an investment, but I was talking to Jasmine today, kind of about like business deductions. She was asking me about trips, and I told her, how it works like for NLC. So the only thing Beachbody did not cover for me is my travel, because everyone, right? Like there were coaches from Ireland there, because we're in the UK, and in France and Canada. So like, right, it'd be different to like pay for someone from the UK who probably had like $1,000 flight, and my flight was like $250. But that's a business expense. So Beachbody is a business. So if you make over $600, then it's technically like a legal business that you claim on taxes. And so then you can use that as a business deduction. And so that comes off your income, and then you pay less in taxes on it. So now I'm getting way too deep into like the workings of everything. Those are good questions. Any other questions? Okay. Feel free to message your coach too if you don't, or like if you think of something else or you don't want to say it. So if you are ready to get started tonight, okay, I'm going to stop this recording.